Today's program is presentation and guided meditation by myself, followed by wisdom sharing by our senior master, Dr. Gopal Krishna Garu. So today's session topic is about self-healing and manifesting the reality. We all have, some of you want to do 40-day guided, 40-day group meditation, isn't it? So I thought this topic would be helpful because we are learning how to heal ourselves, and you can manifest whatever you want in 40 days. Not whatever you want, the intention has to be true. And so let's go into the topic. This presentation is from the quantum physics perspective as to how our body works. Okay, first of all, let's see about diseases. Our body is capable of handling short-term diseases, but how about long-term diseases? First, let's see how we are getting diseases. Stress, it's all because of stress. Let's see how stress is affecting us. How many of you think your life is stressful? Well, some of us think, some of us think I don't have stress and I don't feel it. But trust me, it comes in a very different form and shapes. And even thought alone can give us stress. So what does thoughts do to you? When we are under the influence of negativity, when we are talking negative things or gossiping, when we are listening to unnecessary news full of loud noise stuffs and arguments or work related things, whatever, all those things are adding up, and the more negative thoughts we have, the more negative hormones the body releases. Those negative the hormones are adrenaline, cortisol. These are all stress hormones. When you come into meditation, when you are relaxing, you get the positive hormones. Those are serotonin, melatonin, and oxytocin. These are the one that you needed for happiness. So just your thoughts are not enough to make you stressed. Negative thoughts are taking you towards discomfort and diseases, while positive thoughts takes you to blissfulness. So first of all, we all should have positive thoughts. That decreases the stress, which helps us to get healing. Now, when stress becomes our habit, eventually it becomes a habit. Like we don't even notice that's stress. It blocks the energy flow and creates issues in our body. We saw yesterday, the cosmic energy, how it's going through 72,000 nadis. If we are under stress, some of those energy nadis will be blocked, and it creates issue in our body. So that's how we get diseases. That's why meditation is beneficial. When we start meditation, it works towards our thoughts. So when we start meditating, we work basically on our thoughts, and then we dilute those energy blocks and we'll get away from stress. Now let's see how to heal ourselves. So in meditation, remember whatever we place our attention is where we place our energy. Wherever we place our attention, like when we are meditating, we place our attention here on the throat. That's where energy goes. If you place attention on your feet, or if you have a joint pain, if you place attention there, that's where the energy goes. So you can focus on a particular part of a certain ailment, or if you have a pain in a particular area, you can focus on that to improve health. So that's the thing we have to do. If you have joint pains or any kind of thing you want to get relief from, you just have to focus on that area when you are meditating. That's where energy flows. So you get relief. Or in general, when we do our meditation for our well-being, it is fixing all blockages in our body slowly and slowly. We don't have to focus. We can do general meditation as well. That's why it's important we do meditation every day to get rid of diseases. Don't say I'll do meditation today and not tomorrow, or I'll do once a week. It doesn't work if you do that. Please do it daily. You can fix a time. Start slowly, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then can gradually increase it. We don't expect everyone to first day go and do 60 minutes or 2 hours. Start slowly, get used to it, and keep increasing it. So we learn negative thoughts create stress, and stress create diseases. We also understood that we have to work towards the positivity so that we can heal ourselves. So I hope you all understand about healing part. Let's go on to manifesting the reality. If you have any doubts with the healing part, you can ask questions later on. Second part is manifesting the reality. Now let's see how to manifest what we want. This is also related to thoughts. We have to know where to place those thoughts. To know that, first we have to know about the brainwaves and subconscious mind. In meditation, when we go beyond analytical mind, means a bit deeper in meditation, that's when we reach to the subconscious mind. That is where the whole program is happening. In subconscious mind state, the outer world doesn't appear as good as the inner world. And now we have the capability that we can become anyone we want, because our intention, our affirmation, we can place in the subconscious mind. You are in subconscious mind and sleeping as well, but then you are asleep. So you can't place affirmations. You are not in a state to place affirmations. You have less control of what you do because you are in sleep. But when you are in meditation, then when you go to subconscious mind, you can place your affirmations and place your intentions there. So when we are in subconscious state, that's when our brain is open. And you can say, I want this, I want career, or I want health, or you want to improve learning skills, anything you want. So that's how it's done. So that is, so I think you understand that we can place our affirmations in subconscious mind. To go to subconscious mind, we have to do meditation. So let's see when we reach our subconscious mind in meditation. To understand that, we have to, let's see, these states of brain. These are all, beta, alpha, theta, delta, and gamma. So when we are in normal day-to-day life, our mind is analytical mind, and we will be in beta waves going on whole day. In this state, you can hear our mind talking. So that is called conscious mind. When we go to alpha, theta, delta states, that is where we get subconscious mind. Imagine there is a kind of wall after a beta state. You have to pass that wall to go to alpha before you can get into delta, then very high gamma. Once you cross that wall, means you have to go deeper in the meditation. You slip into alpha, theta, or delta state. This is where subconscious mind is, as I said, and this is where magic happens, your healing happens. The first step is to get into alpha, and then so first step is get into alpha, And that's what meditation helps. You cannot do this with your open eyes. Meditation is the only way that gets you there, where all your sub-programming exists. By the age of 35, you have sub-programming rule who you are, and you are 90% locked with it. If you want to change the reality, you must get there to the subconscious mind. The way to get there is through meditation. Once you are there, you can place your affirmation intentions there. You can become whatever you want. It takes you to unlimited potential and unlimited abilities. But you have to get there. If you are not there, obviously, then you cannot change anything. So some tips, don't think how this happens. Will this happen or not? Oh, I want this in my life. When will that happen? When will it come true? Or how long it will take? Don't think all these things. Just surrender. Just place your intention and surrender. Don't have like a intention that I should get this by 3 weeks or I want this. Whatever you want is fine, but don't attach any strings to it. Leave it to the universe. The universe will bring it to you. You have to surrender. You have to believe in it. You have to trust the process. So yeah, that's about a manifesting part. So the reason why we say, I want to add something about early morning meditation. The reason why we say it's good is because from 1 to 4 a.m. in the morning, the nighttime neurotransmitter melatonin is at the highest level. This is the chemical inside your body which puts you to sleep and relaxes you. And then you go to sleep. In the daytime, melatonin switches back to serotonin, which is the daytime neurotransmitter. So if you do 5 to 6, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock early morning, you still have decent amount of melatonin. It helps meditation because the body is in relaxed state. If you do same way, if you want to do daytime meditation, if you wear eye mask, body thinks it's night time, and it helps that way also. You can do daytime also meditation anytime. So that's it. So we learned about subconscious mind, how to reach there, where to place our intentions or affirmations, and also we learned about self-healing a little bit. I think that's a presentation for today. Hope you learned something from the presentation. Even I am learning with you all. So yeah, if you have any doubts, if you want to go deeper, you can ask GK sir. Now, if you are all ready, we'll go into the meditation process. It's going to be a 10 minutes meditation. So please sit comfortably wherever you are. Please close your eyes. Cross your feet. Clasp your fingers. And get very comfortable. Just become aware of your breath. Natural, normal breath. There are any thoughts that's coming to you, gently push them away. Say to your thought that you will attend them later. Bring your attention to your breath, your natural breath. We are not confined. We are not limited. We can create anything we wish to. Why to have limited thoughts about our life? Why to confine ourselves? Create each and every moment. Even at this moment, create a no mind state. Your breath is your companion. You have nowhere to go, nothing to do now. Just observe the breath. Just be with your natural breath, friends. Last 1 minute. Just to be grateful to everything you have in your life. Be grateful to your family, your friends, your enemies, your problems, your happy things. Be grateful to everything. Be grateful to the universe. Be grateful to the problems we face. Each and every problem is making us more and more stronger. Be grateful to gurus, gods. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly place your both hands over your eyes for a few seconds. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back, friends. Hope you had a good short meditation. Thank you for being with me and listen to my presentation. Now we have GK sir with us. Dr. Gopal Krishna is fondly called as Dr. GK. Is a medical doctor by education, likes to call himself a spiritual scientist who dedicated himself for the service and well-being of people at a physical, mental, and spiritual level through meditation, pyramid power, and spiritual wisdom. He established a Spiritual Tablet Research Foundation under the guidance of Brahmarshi Patriji, founder of Pyramid Spiritual Societies Movement, a non-religious, non-profit voluntary organization. With his 24 years of spiritual practice and wisdom, he simplified several spiritual concepts as spiritual tablets to bring awareness to the people about self-healing through meditation and wisdom, to share his wisdom for the benefit of everyone without involving money. He established several spiritual healthcare centers across the India and abroad and successfully helped more than 10,000 people to heal themselves of a deep illness to date. Dr. GK is currently living in Manchester with his wife Padma and and daughter is Atisha, and working to establish spiritual tablet centers and impart his wisdom while doing his post graduation course. Today we are happy to have Dr. GK sir to share his wisdom. Now I request GK sir to take over and give us share his wisdom. Welcome, sir. Thank you for being with us. So,
Yeah, thank you very much, madam. So, first of all, let us congratulate all the Birmingham markets in and around Birmingham. So with the great initiation of Malika Garu. So, in fact, I'm waiting since so long for this initiation, especially from Birmingham. Being in Manchester currently, as soon as I came, I have started the Manchester group. Of course, the masters in Manchester they are doing since last 2 years. Initially, I had my pilot trip in 2017, I guess so. Then during that time, I came to Birmingham as well, and we had a very short meditation session with just around 5 to 6 people. In it was arranged in some temple. I'm not sure about it. I think it is Balaji temple or somewhere in the hall. So I have my classmate, Dr. Dandamudi and Dr. Vinutna. Some of my classmates are there in Birmingham. And coming to these 3 days sessions, I think you had very good, nice introductory session by Sri Lakshmi Garu. And today I'm going to share my journey in brief. And as a part and parcel of it, being the beginners, how the health problems can be healed through meditation, in what levels actually we work on health problems. So that part also we are going to discuss a bit. Man, I have time around for 25 minutes from now, right?
please take your time, sir. I think our friends are okay.
Not like that. So I think it is from 7:30 to 9, right?
8 to 9, sir. But you can take your time, sir, because we get
8 to
this
9.
opportunity rarely.
Okay. No problem. No problem. Okay, half an
Our
hour.
friends are okay to have.
So half an hour.
In a bit. That's fine, sir. Yeah.
So just like all of you started day one meditation, I had my first meditation in 1994, April 18th. Being a medical college student in Siddhartha Medical College, Vijayawada, I came to know about this meditation through some of my classmates. Actually, I started 2 months late in comparison to my other two close friends. So almost they are my roommates, in fact. Because I'm a guy, I used to feel like all these meditations and all for the senior citizens, not for us. And I'm a bit very jovial, and I watch movies a lot, and so many interesting life apart from my regular medical career. So I used to feel, if we do meditation, slowly we go into that silence kind of thing. We'll become yogis, and we lose interest in family life and movies and all. So that idea is very strong in my mind. So that's why even though I'm very good at belief on God, like the puja or whatever, but initially I was hesitant to start this. But after watching my friends on regular basis, like they are getting very good experiences in meditation. Like you also may experience it if you could do it for first 40 days, something like that. And then I thought somewhere, so it's just a competitive mind. Till now we are very best friends. Three of us are equally going in a similar pace. All of a sudden these guys are doing meditation. I know that meditation somewhere or other it will improve the concentration and memory. So definitely I may lag behind in career as well. And to my surprise, they started telling, a small premonitions, like next day, whatever is coming in headlines in the newspaper, the previous day they used to get. Suppose if some area, in rural areas somewhere, 50 or 60 huts were completely burned, such kind of news, or train accidents, it will come in paper. So that sometimes they used to tell, sitting in meditation. Today I got these particular headlines in newspaper. Next day I used to see the same. It was happened not so many times, at least 3 to 4 times it was happened. So then I thought, let me do, let us do what happens, I will do it for 10 days or 1 month or something like that. I started, you don't believe, on the day one, I did my meditation. Most of the people I see here from India. So on the temple, the Kanaka Durga in Vijayawada, There I did in near that Naga temple, that snake temple will be there. There I did my first meditation in my life, in this lifetime, of course, in this lifetime. So immediately the moment I sat and I'm just observing the breath, within few minutes, my started body revolving inside in a very great turbulence, like a roller coaster. And it was there for some moment, and suddenly someone has rang the bell. Then immediately that disturbance came into my mind, and that silence was completely shattered. And I'm out of that experience. But still, I'm closing my eyes and then I'm trying to observe breath. But after that, nothing was happened. Almost I was there for around 20 minutes. First, I got that internal turbulence. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to observe it, even though it is coming. And then I came to know through my friends that it is an astral travel. The moment I sat, because of that place and my first meditation, definitely it will be good in the first few days. So I got a lot of energy, and clearly my astral body started revolving inside. That I came to know later. And then next day again is plain meditation. Third day, we are fortunate that Paul Vijaykumar, he is our core mentor. Even though I learned meditation from Patriji, my core mentor was Paul Vijaykumar. He is the primary disciple of Brahmarshi Patriji. So he came to our hostel, that is Medical College hostel, and somehow he came to know that a group of doctors, we are doing meditation, and I don't know, Patri sir sent, and he came on in his own thought, and he spent with us for 2 days. So during that period, when I sat and did meditation with him in a room, we are sat in a circle, and suddenly my body started moving like this. A revolving kind of movements came, and I'm not initiating it. They are coming on its own. Even some of you can experience that body movement. Some people will move like this, front and back. Some people will sides. Sometimes it will bend like that. These kind of experiences are very common. So I got that revolving movements, and it was there almost for 2.5 months. When he was there, it is there. I thought maybe because of the master's presence, maybe I am getting. But after that, even though he left, every day, morning and evening, I used to sit for meditation. And then I used to have these revolving movements very vigorously, and I used to fall down aside, and then a silence starts. And in that silence, slowly, I used to get different kinds of experience, like triangles, forest sceneries, and plants, and some colors like that I got. And on fifth or sixth day, I guess so, I got some triangles, and then it followed by Shirdi Sai Baba in my picture. So Shirdi Sai Baba is a South Indian, is an Indian spiritual master. Everybody almost they will treat him as a god, can say. And I got him. In fact, I am a Satyasai devotee, Puttaparthi Satyasai, very strong devotee until 10th and intermediate. But I got Shirdi Sai Baba in my experience. So it's a very clear picture, all the wrinkles on his face, and the vibration in me also, it is completely changed. And I was just shaking like anything in my body. And after having that very vigorous moments, just I fell down. And again, I sat straight and sit straight. And then slowly a silence came. And then I started getting some telepathic experiences. So I started asking him different questions. Just it's all happening in a thought manner. And no doubt, being a medical doctor, I am very skeptical, and then just I am not believing all these things. Is it that so to see a spiritual master, a god in meditation? And of course, I am a very voracious non-vegetarian eater by the time. I just stopped 2 months before when I went to Vipassana meditation for 11 days. There I realized and I stopped non. Until then, I used to eat non-vegetarian just like anything in the hostel as well as at home as well. Because community-wise, we are habituated to it. And then I got very brilliant answers, from Baba. He said, like, all you guys with your own scientific brain, you believe only in body, and you are just looking everything outside. The same efforts, concentration, memory, everything, if you put those efforts inwardly, then you will start experiencing whatever the best you invented outside until the rocket. Like that, there are so many things inside that you can achieve. So like that, I got my first message. And then from that day onwards, every day, morning, evening, I used to sit in meditation, and I used to get Baba as my master. And I used to put so many questions, even the stupid questions I used to ask him, just with that student, kind of, what do you call, cranky or whatever. So, but very patiently he used to get. So sometimes I used to thought, even I am talking for myself, or is it really something coming from above? So sometimes I used to write my own answers for my question. So many answers I used to write, and I used to go there and I used to put the same question, whether I am getting the same answer which I thought when I am conscious without meditation. But very brilliantly, I used to get from the nowhere, I used to get a very different answer for that. After going through this for 10 days, then I went to Kurnool to meet Patri sir first, and the founder of this PSS movement organization and all. So there is a very good pyramid, and lot of masters, Dr. Newton, Paul Vijayakumar, and some other masters, everybody is there. There are around 150 masters. It is a Buddha Purnima, and so a lot of gathering. And that is the big gathering, in fact, that 150 to 200 masters. Of course, today there are lakhs of masters there now. So there, I listened to so many people, they started telling so many experiences, like they went to Himalayas and then they touched their eyes. The moment they came into their body, if I touch their hands, the hands are freezing cold. How can the hands become freezing cold in that hot summer May in India? Okay, we can't expect, So such kind of it is called astrophysical experience. Whenever we do meditation, if you get an astral experience, and if those properties are transformed into the physical body, those are called astrophysical experience. By reading the You Forever book, I came to know all the scientific facts later on. So some people used to tell about past lives, some people used to tell about their purpose, what they realized through meditation. They used to talk to gods very brilliantly in meditation. And simply, I found it is all just mad world, frankly speaking. Almost, I had a very good debate and quarrel, you can say, almost until night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock with my master, Paul Vijayakumar. And I said, it looks like a big Haran group, and I don't want to become among those people. Once I am entered to it and I absorb in this, I don't know what happens to me later. Like that, I put a question, and he laughed at me. And finally, you are saying that I have to believe in it and I have to go through it. So he said, initially there will be at least a mustard seed of belief you should have on this, and you continue. And at any point of time, whenever you don't like, it is not useful to you, just, just discard it. It is a trial I'm asking you to do. He said a basic common sense answer. He didn't show me any miracles or something like that. And then with that small message of belief, I came back to hostel. And then, but I have witnessed so many people who have healed their illnesses. Being a medical doctor, it is a bit big question mark for me. How can the infections will heal? How can the tumors will heal? And so that is just a practical question mark for me. And I came to hostel, and then onwards, all of us, we started doing very vigorously. Almost morning 2 hours, afternoon 2 hours, and evening late night meditations. Like that, every day we started doing 2 hours, 6 hours, something like that. And then I started reading some books related to this, prescribed by Patri sir. And then I started getting so many prediction experiences. Whomsoever coming into meditation beforehand, some of my classmates and some of my family members, they started appearing in meditation. I saw Jesus Christ, and I got 2 messages from Jesus Christ very brilliantly, which I don't know. Religiously, I don't know. Those words like, seek is the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all else will be added unto you. Just like a scrolling message in the TV, usually we watch like that, I got this message. If you believe, whatever you believe is possible. And then I saw Jesus Christ also. And Lord Balaji, I have seen once. And then Ramana Maharshi also I got in my meditation. And some of the messages by Ramana Maharshi. After taking all these messages and reading to Osho Rajneesh and Richard Bach and Linda Goodman, and being medical doctors, we are good, a bit smart with English language. So most of the books are in English. And my classmate, Dr. Vijay Mohan, who is a biochemistry professor now in Vijay Medical Center in Visakhapatnam, he is very smart in English books, So he used to read a lot and he used to explain us. I am a bit poor because I am from Telugu medium background, but still we used to discuss in group, and I am a very good implementation master. If I caught one sentence, means as it is, I used to print it in my day-to-day life. So I am very good in implementation. So That journey was almost for 5.5 months. By that time, clearly I understood the value of thought, the value of speech, and what we are doing, how best is meditation, and how many things are there in life to realize about past lives and future, other dimensions, and the gods, and the Himalayas, the energies, everything, the basic structure I came to understand. In between, we went to Karnal almost in another 2 times, I guess so. And after doing it for 5.5 months, my first enlightenment, I have actually 3 enlightenment phases. The first 2 I want to tell today. Being a beginner, I think this is enough for you. And in fact, and we may get some other time elaborately. So the first enlightenment I can say after the 5.5 months journey, suddenly I started getting a message that now you are complete. You don't need any masters, any experiences. Just try to go in a middle path. Whatever you are supposed to do according to your medical job or doctor or reading and all, that will go in one hand, and your spiritual journey in one hand. Try to utilize this spiritual journey and spirituality to your existing material job. That is what we say, yoga karmasu kausalya. Yoga means meditation, or yoga means something coming from above, internal potential. Karmasu means karmas, that what we do. Kausalya means doing in a best way. So by doing meditation, you can make your regular day-to-day activities in the best possible manner. That is what I understood. And immediately, it took 3 to 4 days for me to build up my guts to tell the master, Shirdi Sai Baba, who is regularly coming in my meditation. I have to tell him, finally, I don't want you anymore. I want to live myself, So that I need to, it is the time for me to kick my master. That is a kind of. So then I said, in meditation, just I told, I don't want you anymore. I want to go with my own internal flow. Until today, continuously you are guiding me. And this is something like a internal voice, and I'm a bit confused. And then I guess I can manage myself. And I just told. To build those guts, I listened to Osho Rajni's show audio, and that really gave me a very good essence. And I understood somewhere or other I have to kick my experiences. So I just put a full stop. And for my surprise, I was in a complete silence for almost for 5 days. And sometimes I used to pinch myself. Am I there? I am going mad. Because no thoughts are coming to me in my mind. The mind was completely in silence. Sometimes all of a sudden, a pouring of thoughts used to come for half an hour or 40 minutes about my life, my childhood, and what I'm doing now, what is this meditation. Everything is just like, so at times I used to feel that am I going mad? Then I know a story about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, how he attained enlightenment, and that 0 point when he shattered the Kali, what happened. So because I know a bit, then I thought, okay, I'm in this physical body, I'm Dr. GK, I am supposed to read, I am supposed to become a doctor, and I have to serve in villages as I thought. That is one part. Second part, of course, I get married and I'll have my family. So that is a vision. And then I learned this meditation. I became a vegetarian and I healed my throat infection that I am supposed to tell you. The major part is recurrently I used to get a throat infection problem, which is actually the basic pharyngitis, which I don't know. When I'm in rural India, every time my father used to take to me to the city doctor, they used to investigate me very thoroughly because the TB is tuberculosis infection is very rampant. I am so thin, and the cough is also so brassy cough. So every time they used to think maybe it is because of the tuberculosis. But they used to give me a course of antibiotics because nothing is found out through X-rays and investigations. And similarly, every year, 2 times I used to take antibiotics. And at one point of time, during my intermediate degree, he is a regular doctor. My father took to him. He is just putting his paper and he is trying to write something. He wrote the first letter. Yes. Then immediately I said Sirkodin. Then he striked off it and he put the Jed. Then I said Jandin. And he asked my father, whatever the letter I am writing, he is saying immediately all the trade names. Then he said, sir, since 10 years he is suffering, he know more than 15 to 20 all cough syrups. That much I drank. So that is the situation. Every year I used to take those antibiotics for my cold infection. Even the little cold water or any cold sarbat, if I take, some ice creams, immediately I catch hold of the cold and slowly it will turn into throat infection. And so that thing, in fact, with meditation, just with 2.5 hours continuous sessions, healing movements came for me in my body like this. While doing meditation, I got some healing movements like this, and I started curing my illness. Within 2.5 days, without any antibiotic, first time I cured my illness. Then I got very good confidence. So something is there in meditation. I am getting energy and I am getting some healing movements, and it is healing my throat part. And within 2 days, I got the result. Without antibiotic, I am healing myself. So I experienced it 2 times. So some more belief on that. Even though whether I tell this thing to others or not, first of all, I got my relief after 10 years. Without antibiotics and homeopathic pills, I'm able to cure myself with meditation. That is more than sufficient for me. And then on the 5.5 months, after 5.5 months, then I said no. Then all the masters, experts, everything disappeared. 5 days I was in silence. Then I started taking my own kind of program. And within 1 week, I'm good, bit okay. And since then onwards, I started reading so many spiritual books on regular basis and basic meditation. And of course, the hostel education as normal. And one of my breakthrough experiences during the final year exam, all the doctors, we are around 9 doctors doing this. And I have to tell this, we are all adults here. We got the question paper, all the 6 question papers, leaving the medicine paper 1. The rest of all the 5 question papers out of 100, 85 to 95 marks every day, we used to get 1 day before in meditation, randomly. For all the people together, we used to write the paper, the same paper we used to read the whole night. And next day, you won't believe, for my surprise, the whole questions, just Makki, as it is. First day, there is a big jolt for us. And this message we got 4 months before. Why you need to read? You want only 13 questions out of the book. You can get those 13 questions through your third day, and you can read. And so this is my master used to tell us in a kidding way. So we used to take it as a kiddish matter. But anyway, we were totally deep into meditation. We read half and half. Almost we are about to lose our exams, because it is a wise action for us whether to decide this is going to give us a very big thing in our life. Of course, we are regular students. We never failed any subject. But so that junction really gave a very big jolt. And some people were almost, they are sick in different way. So they are struggling to bring out their back to health through meditation. Like that, we did a lot of experiments in those 4.5 months time. And finally, we got the question papers, the same thing we wrote. And miraculously, everybody was passed. Out of 9, only 2 girls were failed, that too because they are very strong devotees for some other gods, and they are going with some chits kind of thing. They are not very serious about meditation actually. So 7 people, we were passed. It is a very, very, very miraculous go through. And I realized, oh, damn, this is really something brilliant. I never leave this meditation for my lifetime's sake. And then onwards, I completed my medicine degree. During the final year house agency, I went to Kurnool a couple of times, and I attended some of the forest trekkings in Balaji Tirupati temple, and a lot of wisdom sharings from so many masters and so many physical experiences. Even in the forest, I got some energy forms I have seen in the forest, because in the forest, whenever we are going on a trekking, so we have a very, very good energy, So those experiences are literally different. The whole night we will be in the greenery, meditating and sleeping on the, stones. Just we enjoy the campfires the whole night. A lot of discussions will happen. Like that, I made 3 or 4 trekking programs. That is a real training for me, spiritually, I can say. And then I came back to Visakhapatnam. So from then onwards, cut. Every 3 years a major. The first 3 years, of course, I did my, 3.5 years. I worked with so many doctors. 1 year with a neurosurgeon, 1 year with a pediatrician, and 1 year with a general medicine surgeon. First 1 year, in fact, I tried for my post-graduation. I got a diploma in anesthesia, but by that time, I was very clear about my spiritual, journey. So I thought with MBBS degree, whatever the best I can do in the rural areas, I will do. if I go into specialization, I may not balance both the things, and I will lose contact with the patient in general. But general medicine is very tough for me to get. So I didn't join to that post graduation. Just I went with my own kind of medical training. So I worked in different faculties to gain some experience to open my own 25-bed hospital. So after that experience, and during that period, I used to teach meditation to so many people in parallel, apart from working as a medical officer in departments. And I observed clearly so many patients who are coming to me after doing meditation, they are getting very miraculous relief. I used to observe their experiences also. By the end of 5.5 years, I was very clear with a bunch of wisdom, and lot of masters were there in Visakhapatnam. Patri sir came so many times and so many programs we did, and lot of masters. But still somewhere in the back of the mind, is it all true? Being a medical doctor, how can I go with this wisdom? Am I doing the right thing? Will I go for marriage? Am I have a family life? And how can I earn money? If I have to say meditation can cure all the illnesses and there is nothing to eat like non-vegetarian, just with plant-based diet is enough. And how can I go with this wisdom into the people being a medical doctor? So still that is somewhere in the back of the mind, I am unable to digest all these things. Then I put this question to my master and he said, your job is over here, you just go to Andaman. Then I got married to Padma, just I think 6 months before, and suddenly went to Andaman. There I stayed for 1.5 years. So during that period, I got a beautiful divine experience, a kind of oneness experience, a bliss experience, I can say. And that gave me, it is the second enlightenment, I can say, a complete realization. Then all my questions were completely shattered. I got that conclusion after 5.5 years of my journey. Because at that time, there are no books, no Zoom classes, no masters, very less support. Everything we have to sit in meditation and we have to invent. Such kind of thing we used to have. But finally, I reached my full stop. Yeah, I can say. With that conclusions, I resigned that job, medical officer job for the Jarwa tribes, which I am doing there. And I came back to India and I started my mission in the name of Meditation Health Clinic, which has got all facilities to train a spiritual master. Apart from the medical treatment, which I am giving as an MBBS doctor, I'm very good in my medical prescriptions as well. And part and parcel of my medical treatment, I used to teach this meditation for the chronic illness, hypertension, diabetes, back pain, asthma problems, joint pain problems. For those people, chronic illness, I used to introduce this meditation slowly. Within a period of 1.5 years, 30 spiritual masters, and we took around 1,200 case sheets. Out of that, 750 cases are more than 90% successful. It is a record, a practical record I maintain. Continuously, every counseling, what we are teaching and what experience they are getting, how their investigations are showing good results, everything recorded. Then being a medical doctor, I got a very good success. And by the time in the Uttarandhra 3 digits, I became a bit popular. And MBBS doctor, yeah, of course, some people call me as mad doctor also, because the mad tablets, spiritual tablets I'm giving to everyone. And some people really like me most. And then it is a high time for me to go into a 25-bed hospital. Then I went to 25-bed hospital. I took one 25-bed hospital, which is almost in the downtrends. I purchased it and I started my practice in that as an admission center. In the top floor of it, I kept it exclusively for the spiritual kind of training, apart from the regular first 2 floors as OP, clinics, operations, everything like accidents, MLC cases, everything in the first 2 floors. But the first floor, top floor, is exclusively vegetarian zone, where I kept some pyramids on the top of the bed, like this you see here. And 2 masters are available all the time for them to guide. And there I have registered around 280 cases. Out of that 90 cases, they are very good success. Some cases are surgical cases, some are cancer illness, some HIV positive AIDS illnesses. The regular medical support, whatever they need, the palliative therapy like painkillers or some oxygen support we used to give. And apart from that, they have to do a lot of meditation. Severe knee joint pain cases. And some of the exceptional illnesses like ankylosing spondylitis, Crohn's disease, and ulcerative colitis. So those problems also, they got very good relief. And some people, of course, died because of the 4th stage cancer. We can't do anything. They died openly, I can tell. And so after that, then I realized Even for the serious cases also, and especially the chronic illness and 1 in 1 lakh cases, like which are impossible to do something in medicine, it is giving a very brilliant solution. So then in 2008, I came out of that regular medical practice and I became a full-time workshop trainer and a spiritual counselor. And I started opening so many centers. And since then onwards, 2008, initially there are 30 centers. After that, 60. At one point of time, I used to move around 110 centers across Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai, and Mauritius. All the places I used to travel, and all the 5 cities in India, I used to travel within 2.5 days to visit all these centers, because my job is only just 1.5 to 2 hours. At that time, if the Zoom is there, it is different. Physically, we need to go. So there I will have 7 to 10 cases. Some masters are already trained. So I'll give the spiritual prescription, fat. These are the wisdom capsules they are supposed to take. That's it. Then I'll go back. Like that, I used to visit all these centers. Then this led to development of 350 spiritual tablets wisdom. And then I started conducting so many workshops. So like that, it's going on forever. I registered this organization as a Spiritual Tablets Research Foundation non-profit Section 8 company. I'm chairman for that. And then so many centers, admission centers we established in rural India. And even till today, just with a free food and a good pyramid in a natural place, I established some centers like that. So all chronic cases, they will stay in those pyramids for 40 days, 3 months, something like that. And they'll get cured completely, or at least 50% relief if they get, then later on, rest of the 50%, they can cure themselves in the rural areas. So somehow I was connected to rural India most often. So maximum my travel, my services were into villages only, because somehow I was connected to it in a great fashion. And in 2017-18, I had traveled to, I traveled to US twice, and almost I gave my presentation in 28 states. And during that period, I came to UK also. Almost I have given my presentations in Scotland, Ireland, Birmingham, Nottingham, and around 22 places I traveled. Basingstoke, Reading, and Telford. All these places I conducted sessions. And then after going back to India, then I somehow I had a call, and I completed my IELTS. And today I am studying this Masters in Public Health. In 20 days, I'm going to give my dissertation presentation. And so this master degree I am doing just to bring out some research papers on the way how I'm doing all these. Here I means it is not only me. A big group of masters are there in India who are good in Telugu. Now recently some Hindi masters are also trained. So all together we did this great job all these days. Initially it is for my own health, and after that my whole family was into meditation. My father, mother, 4 brothers and sisters. Now everybody is doing meditation, and they are spreading also in their own way. And because I am also completely into it, then I am here today. And my wife Padma, she is also a yoga trainer and a Kuchipudi dancer. She also does meditation. And even just before marriage, 20 years ago, she learned meditation when she is almost in 7th and 8th standard education. And my daughter, she is into 14 years. Of course, during exams and when she is not good, like, any minor illnesses are there, means then she'll do good amount of meditation. Of course, she in her own living in the moment practice. And she had her own company with her sisters. Regularly, once in a week, they have a wisdom sharing session by reading spiritual books. They will share among those, and directly she is very good in thought, speech, and everything. She corrects us, in fact, so many times whenever we try to speak some nonsense, kind of. So this is what my spiritual journey. And in this journey, you have to understand that any illness, by doing meditation vigorously and by using the pyramid power and the plant-based diet, definitely one can cure whatever the problem they have. Even in long run, you can even stop the tablets also, even for the chronic illness. After going for a series of testings, if they are showing normal, then slowly the doctor only can taper the drugs. Chronic illness, no doubt about it. And if anybody is there bedridden and serious illness, and especially children's illness, if you find any such kind of problem, please bring it into my notice. Definitely, I'll be here for another 3 to 4 years as a part of my journey. And so I am here to help you in any way, especially for the serious illness also. It is a bit tricky. I need to look into the aspects of it. what best can be done through allopathic support and what best can be through meditation. That middle path we need to achieve. And apart from that, I am trying to train the spiritual tablets for so many masters who are very much interested in health and spirituality junction to do service. So that also slowly we can do. So with this, I conclude my journey today. So initially, the energy can heal you. After that, slowly you need to look into the wisdom. So in fact, my major focus was into wisdom, not actually meditation, because meditation, so many people are teaching and everybody is doing on regular basis. After that, how to cure the problem from the roots through wisdom. That means understanding your true potential, understanding your purpose of life, understanding your projection about life and other dimensions, working on the past lives, working on the environment and the people around you. Like that, there are so many areas, and you need to work on your thought, your speech, and correcting all these things, and one can completely cure their problem from the roots. So I am very much particular, and I am very much, knowledgeable in those areas. So that's what I want to convey today. So once again, thank you very much, Mallika Garu, for taking this great initiation to bring upcoming budding souls. See, seniors, we can have so many people on a regular basis, but attending to new people who are doing meditation for the first time is really a great honor for us. And yeah, thank you very much. I took a little bit 10 minutes extra. Sorry for that.
No, sir.
Yeah.
If you want to share any more, please go on. We are okay.
Yeah, it's okay, madam. That's it. Yeah. If anybody want to ask any questions, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for sharing your life journey. It's wonderful. And we are also fortunate to have you here in UK. I think you came only to guide us. So yeah, actually, I want to share one thing here, one thing now, like, Padma madam asked me to start a group in Birmingham. 3 months prior to I spoke to GK sir. But at that time I was like, I'm happy, like I'm happy doing meditation myself. Like, I don't want to go into groups and all. But, again, after 3 weeks, I spoke to GK sir, and GK sir told me, you have to start a group in Birmingham. And I don't know, immediately within 2 days, I'm making preparation towards it. It happened last Sunday. And yeah, here we are now. That's all thanks to GK sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me advice and support I needed to start this. And I'm learning a lot from spiritual tablets, sir. The course I am attending during the weekends. All that wisdom is invaluable. Yeah, so I'm sharing that wisdom slowly with my friends here. So yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, friends, anybody wants to ask any questions, GK sir, please raise your hands or unmute yourself.
Madam, I wish that this group will grow bigger, and once in a week, at least one session you should have on regular basis, or it can be a 40 days regular meditation also. That is how we are doing in, how we are doing in Bournemouth, Cardiff, and Manchester, Midlands, in so many areas. Regularly, they are doing 40 days meditation. Something like that you can initiate. It's up to you after these 3 days classes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, after seeing people's enthusiasm, even I decided to go for 40 days. Initially, I said no, I can't do it with you. But after seeing people enthusiasm, I decided to go for 40 days. We are doing that, sir.
Thank you, madam. So someone asked in the chat box. Yes, I did meditation only with breath observation. Okay, normal breath observation technique I practiced. And before that, of course, I was into Vipassana. There, they will ask us to observe the sensations. But initially, I did when I was in that 11 days course. But after that, somehow the technique was also stopped. So I did only breath observation meditation. Yeah, thank you.
Dr. GK, sorry, my name is Jayashree. I'm a psychiatrist. So I'll be very, very interested to probably have a 1 hour session with you just on the subject of mental health and healing and the interface between allopathic practice in psychiatry and spiritual healing. Have you had any first-hand? I mean, it might be too much for the group to know in detail, but I can get in touch with you if you are okay on a separate occasion. But you have talked about chronic illnesses, acute illnesses, and all that, the spiritual tablets. Have you got any special spiritual tablet for mental health related problems?
Yes, madam. In fact, we are taking so many cases, but severe schizophrenia and all, initially, definitely we go with whatever the medication, that is ECT or medicines, whatever. And once they settle down a bit from that aggressive phase, then of course, definitely there are two halves. One is to attending to the, the family members, because those are the real culprits, I can say, because in fact, they are suffering a lot. This you know very well than me. So first of all, the major priority initially first 3 months to catch hold of the family members, the parents or whomsoever, rest of the people who are suffering with him, based on the principle suffering is due to individual ignorance. First, these are the people really who are suffering. So first we work with them. We make them fit with meditation and making the whole house, into plant-based diet and the energies once they are set. Then slowly we come to the actual patient, God, we call it as well. So we work with him also. And once they are into meditation, within few days, at least to 25% or 30%, they'll be in ease position. Then slowly we apply the pure soul wisdom, because most of the psychiatric illnesses are something related to understanding about the soul, different levels of the soul. And in fact, in allopathy, we don't have that structure anyway. But here we need to introduce what actually the soul is, the consciousness and levels of consciousness, like infant soul, baby soul, young soul. And after death, what happens to this soul, several different dimensions. There are certain books. There are around 5 to 7 books. The soul's gift, soul's journey, and evolution of the soul, the soul. Like that, there are around 7 books, You Forever. So slowly we teach these books, and by the time he will understand what is the technology behind different kinds of thoughts he is getting, why they are into that multi kind of personalities, from where these voices are coming, everything they will understand in a much better fashion. So over a period of time, we can train him, starting from the basics. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And especially for the OCD, really brilliant solution for the OCD after doing meditation, and we apply some special techniques in those wherever they are feeling that OCD kind of natures, there we observe and we decode those things into spiritual fashion. Sometimes it is connected to past lives, but most of the times by correcting the present moment itself, they can come out of those OCD behaviors as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. I'm Dr. Lata from Birmingham. I am an obstetrician. I'm just wondering, have you got any experience in treating autism children?
Yes, madam. So autism children, now that workshop is going on, most of the people are from US actually. To my knowledge, we have done around 5 to 10 cases so far, who are all the spectrum, and again the same. If the parents are very good with their spiritual journey and energies, and automatically, I cannot say that there is a 100% improvement, but definitely more than 50% improvement they can get, where clearly they can see a change within 3 months or 6 months. They can experience this, how smart they become, how they are, asking some questions, all the timid behaviors, most of the behaviors they will cut down. And even I can send you some testimonials also. Recently, when I trained the North India group, one madam, Veena Junjun, she came, and she had a daughter around the age of 16, 17 years. But first time she started, she stopped having that repetitive behaviors, that repetitive kind of thinking and speech also. Recurrent behaviors usually she observed. That was completely stopped because she observed some patterns in her life also, in her thought and speech, in her business. So according to the law of attraction principle, we ask the parents to learn a lot of things, and they have to set their mind first. If they set their mind in a proper fashion, then that, according to law of attraction, automatically the child also will stop those behaviors. So that principle really worked for her, and clearly she got that relief.
Oh,
So like that, there are certain cases, even I can give you those testimonial phone numbers as well. Being a doctor, I can give it to you, no problem. So you can talk to them and so that you can understand how best they are with the children. Yeah.
thank you, sir. I will keep in touch with you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Thank you. So, okay, Andy. Thank you very much.
Dr. GK, I have a quick question. Sorry.
Yes, please.
How do you convince children that this is good for them? I have been meditating for a few years now, but I can't get children who I think are facing some sort of stress-related things in their small lives that meditation might do good for them. But
Yeah.
like you just said, they think that it'll take them on a different path. It's not fun. It'll change the quality of their life, and it's not cool. So how do we convince?
See, for the practical purpose, usually children doesn't need any meditation. In fact,
Mhm.
they need only a playful life and a creative learnings. And apart from that, there are set of people who easily convinced and immediately they will do meditation. It is good. Okay.
Yeah.
Suppose if they are not convinced and if they are
Mhm.
not being, even after telling about meditation and all, then we can give them the energy supports. There is a 10 energy supports list, like
Okay.
keeping a pyramid where they are sitting regularly, a frame pyramid that gives energy, a lot of energy. And you can keep a lot of green plants and some healing crystals we can keep. And high colored curtains like blue, violet, indigo, which is a color therapy, according to Linda Goodman. That higher colors we can use. And all unwanted and negative objects which are there in the room that we need to do. Like there is another 10 energy supports list, even I can send you that PDF.
Oh,
If
please.
you use that, then automatically they will have that energetic environment in and around them. And sooner or later, and if the parents are set with their own spiritual journey and purpose of life properly, then children automatically mold themselves and they will start listening to us. And even we can give some spiritual storybooks kind of things and some spiritual movies also we can show to them. And then slowly they will get into meditation. Yeah.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Hello, hi. Thank you, Malika Garu and Dr. GK Garu, for the wonderful presentation. I've got one question. This is Harini from Birmingham. Got one question. So you constantly mentioned something about spiritual life. So when you say spiritual life, do you mean following meditation or being a vegetarian and praying to God and having those beliefs? What do you exactly mean by when you say spiritual life?
See, there are two things. One is unconscious evolution and conscious evolution. Unconscious evolution means we don't know ABCD of the soul, life, and all these things. We try to figure out with the basic money, job, and the physical happiness, whatever we are getting. And of course, some people may be into arts kind of thing. Up to this, we usually have our basic material standards, we can say. Of course, we have some happinesses through the material means and the arts. Through arts, we can get into that happiness. But here, the spiritual life means adding the spiritual dimension. Means if you regularly do meditation, then our internal potential will increase. And whatever the ESP, see, the earlier one is SP, sensory perception. Once you close your eyes and if you close all the senses and if you travel inward way, then you attain that spiritual power. The actual power of meditation, we can, so it can be thought power or speech power or whatever. And this ESP will add extra sensory perception and extra sensory perception. ESP means extra sensory perception. It is our inbuilt quality. When we born, it is there within us. But because of the environment and the people who are there around us, they're not good enough to bring us in a God fashion. So all these extrasensory perceptions automatically will be closed. They will be ruined totally. So conscious evolution means once you start actual meditation on a regular basis, and slowly you improve your internal potential, and the real spiritual life will start. After reaching a point, there will not be anything like spiritual. Everything is one and the same. See, today, just before coming here, I had my grilled potato. It's a new thing we tried. It doesn't mean that we are going away from life. That is what even I also thought in the beginning. I have to go away from the basic life. But of course, over a period of time, once you are into meditation, almost 99% of the people, they come out of this unwanted diet. They will adopt the plant-based diet. That is one part. Automatically, it will happen. even though we don't insist in the beginning. So here the spiritual life means understanding our true potential and living with that potential. Earlier, maybe the knife which we are using, which is not sharp. Without having sharpness, that knife we are trying in our day-to-day life. But after meditation, this knife will pick the true sharpness. That is what again they said, yoga karmasa kaushalyam. Everything, whatever you do, whatever you say, it will be very apt and very perfect. So the so-called spiritual life means conscious living. We understand what we are before the birth and what we are going to do after birth and what we are doing here. What is our purpose? All these questions will be answered. And more or less every moment you will have your own kind of basic data with you. That is what a kind of spiritual life. But after some time, everything one and the same. Material and spiritual, everything will put together. Everything is one and the same. But you will have your own exceptional happiness and a unique journey you can see in comparison to the others who are there around you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for that explanation. Thank you. And thanks to Mallika Garu for bringing the spiritual meditation into Birmingham. So looking forward to much more programs. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's a wonderful answer. Anybody else? Any
Thank you,
questions?
madam. It's 9:30. It's okay. No problem. Tomorrow
Okay.
we'll leave for the tomorrow master. Yeah. Tomorrow who
Thank
is
you.
coming, Andy?
Madhu garu and Rajshekar garu.
Oh, that's great. Madhu and Rajshekar. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Perfect. Thank you, Andy. So it's just 1 hour away. No problem. We keep meeting again and again in Bhajan.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all.